All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, happy to be talking to an individual coming off of quite the big victory at iKon Fighting Federation 7. We got us, and the 7 number apropos, 7 weight boxing world champion, 100% submission rate across Jiu-Jitsu and MMA competitions so far, and bringing Amanda Serrano on the show for the first time. How are you doing there, Amanda? I imagine you're feeling pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean for a boxer, it's pretty cool to have that. I mean, I never thought that I would be an MMA fighter, and let alone have 100% submission rate. It's pretty funny, but it's cool. It feels just as great as a knockout.
Yeah, and just wrapping that up in pretty short order there, just getting that standing guillotine victory inside of 60 seconds. Was that as, I guess, comprehensive of a performance as you could have hoped for there?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to, because I want to be in MMA. I want to be a complete MMA fighter. I just don't want to be known for my striking. I am a boxer, 7 division world champion, so I want to be able to go into MMA and learn all the crafts. It is a mixed martial arts. So I want to be able to know how to do everything and to be a complete MMA fighter. And it's funny because most of my jiu-jitsu submissions were guillotines. So it was like, it brought me right back to doing the jiu-jitsu tournaments.
But it was interesting you were saying there you didn't necessarily, I guess, see yourself becoming an MMA fighter. I'd seen a prior interview where it was saying when you were like a young teenager, it was a bit of a trying kind of episode there and everything like that. What was the first MMA training session like? I mean, like I said, there's a public record of, when the first boxing session was. When was the first MMA training session?
We had filmed a movie years ago with Misha Tate, Chris Cyborg, Holly Holm. We filmed a movie, me and my sister, with them, and we talked about it. And I was like, oh no, I don't think I'm gonna do MMA because it's a lot of work, and you have usually the MMA fighters start when they're really young with at least one martial art. So we talked about it, and then we had an opportunity. And we said, you know what, let's try it. And we tried it, and it was like 2 months before my first fight that I actually went into the dojo and actually started to work on MMA. So it was pretty weird.
Well, yeah, just a rapid turnaround there. You mentioned Holly Holman there, though, and she was helping another individual cross over from boxing into the MMA ranks there. Did you check out Claressa Shields PFL debut there? It seemed like you were, and it seemed like you were pretty invested in it. Like, what were your thoughts on that performance overall?
Oh, it was, we're fighters. That's number one. We fight, and Claressa Shields, she's young, she's hungry, and she has so much to prove. And I know she was going to go out there, and losing was not an option for her because she had a lot riding on her. And I knew she was going to come out somehow performing well. And it was, I know how she felt those first 2 rounds because my first fight, the third round, I was on the floor for over 4 minutes, and I kind of felt helpless. It was like a situation where I never been in, and I really wasn't, like I said before, I was only training for about 2 months, so I was unaware of the floor, and it really like zapped a lot of energy out of me. So that's why after that fight, I took up jiu-jitsu tournaments because I wanted to perfect myself. I wanted to make sure that would never happen again. So I know Clarissa Shields was going through a lot of things was going through her head at that time, but she overcame it. She's a fighter. She's a champion, and the third round was awesome, and I was super excited for her. And now the sky's the limit. She just got to go out and continue to eat the floor like I did, and she's gonna be a monster one day.
And I'm curious, like, what do you, I guess, credit that bolstered comfortability to? Is it just a matter of getting out there and competing, or is it more just like the, I guess, moment-to-moment work you get in with, Jordan and Gabriel, your coaches there?
Yeah, I mean, it has to do with experience as well. When I go to the dojo and I do the no-gi classes, my coach Gabe never takes it easy with me. He puts me in there with purple belts, brown belts, and he makes sure that I get the work in. in the gym, and then if there's tournaments now, because of COVID, tournaments haven't been around. But when there is tournaments, they'll put me in there to make sure I get experience and make sure I feel comfortable. Even though I still don't want to go on the floor. Like I was able to with the guillotine. I was able to, like, if I wanted to drop down and finish it on the floor, but I said, you know what, I don't want to be on the floor just in case she pops out of it. So I said, it was a standing guillotine, but you just want to be comfortable on the floor just in case, but I still don't want to go there.
Yeah, and it seemed like the finish was mindful of just chaining together the boxing sequence as well, with facilitating getting that standing guillotine. Like, did you feel like you were able to have that like fluidity and piece things together in that kind of way?
Yeah, it's more. I mean, I realized that MMA is more what's given to you. So I knew I was able to, if I wanted to, finish her with the punches, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
But when she went in for the single leg and she gave me the neck, I said it felt all familiar to me. I was like, okay, I know what to do here. So I took the opportunity to grab it and take it. So that's how we got the submission.
Yeah, I definitely love seeing that progression. I mentioned from the top, though, you were fighting with iKon Fighting Federation this time, couple fights with Combate Americas prior, now Combate Global. Like, I'm kind of wondering, like, how much did Pearl Gonzalez, your co-manager there, facilitate getting you into the iKon picture there? And just as a broader part of the question, can you talk about the work you get in at the gym with Pearl? Because it seems like yourself and your sister get in good work.
We're much better at the time where I signed for MMA. I was getting, I wanted to become undisputed champion, so boxing was good for me. Pearl Gonzalez, she's fighting for the bare-knuckle, so she had came down a week before my fight in March. She wanted to get work with me, so she came down, and then she put us onto iKon. I never knew she's an iKon commentator. So I was like, oh my God, they do MMA in the ring. And I thought that interests me because the ring is my life. And so I'm so comfortable in the ring. And I said, if I was to go back to MMA, I would definitely love to go back with iKon. And I'm super happy with them. They treated me well. And they knew how to match me well. This girl, she had a couple of amateur fights, making her debut, and that's what I needed. I haven't fought in two and a half years. I'm still new to the sport. I don't want to go in there. My first fight, I went in there with a 11-year plus veteran, and she knew exactly what to do. My first fight, I wasn't a real MMA fight. I've got kicked, I got kneed, I got elbow, I got everything. So, I wanted to ease my way back into the sport, and why not in the ring where I feel comfortable. And Pearl, she's definitely giving me tips of it's not even for this opponent in particular. She was giving me tips for girls in the future when we go to bigger and better fights. So she's been a godsend. We're helping her with her knuckles. She actually moved to Brooklyn to pursue her career in bare knuckles. So we're helping each other out, and it's been a great so far, a great camp. Now, right now, I'm in the gym getting ready for her fight. We gotta spar, so I get no days off. I gotta get her ready for her fight, and we have a great team, and it's just I'm excited.
Yeah, well, great work being put in all the time. I mean, that probably is why you have as much success as you do. But in mentioning the BKFC effort there, I'm kind of curious, just with your steep history in gloved boxing, what are your thoughts on the, I guess, domestic rise in popularity that bare knuckle boxing has had in the last few years there?
No, it's pretty cool, but to me, it's pretty scary because even the slightest punch on bare skin can definitely open you up. I mean, I don't think I will be doing it anytime soon, but I'm super super proud and of what Pearl's been doing. She's been working behind off, and she's getting sparring from me and my sister. And I just can't wait to see her in that, what is it, circle ring or square circle. So
yeah, and yeah, sorry, I was just wondering with the iKon deal there, like, was this just like a one fight kind of agreement, explore something further, or are you locked into like a multi-fight kind of deal with iKon? Like, what's the situation in that regard like?
getting bigger, and I'm really was impressed with their production and how they treated me and my team. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to working with them again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just kind of wondering what the competitive path is looking like for you, because you were saying in previous posts you were wanting to concurrently be a boxing and MMA champion. But also you were saying a bit ago it'd been a little bit since you got out for the MMA competition. So I mean, I guess I was just wondering like what the schedule looks like with boxing and mixed martial arts. Is the main priority MMA this year, or are we going to see some boxing from Amanda Serrano, you think?
Well, yeah, no, you're definitely gonna see some boxing from me. We're not sure. I know iKon is going to jump on there. I'm still in shape. So if I'm gonna continue with MMA, I just want to continue to get experience. But that with Roca Cruz, the W become undisputed champion.
Yeah, it definitely seems like you have a lot of options afforded to you, regardless of the lane you want to go in there. But we were talking about your, sister before and stuff like that. It seems like you guys have a great bond as far as, just being training partners, but also being, close friends with one another. So can you talk about the bond you have with your sister, just in terms of the, I guess, personal connection, but also the career benefits it yields for you too?
Oh yeah, having my sister in the same sport as me, it's amazing. She helps me tremendous. At times it was only her giving me sparring for fights, and at times I feel bad for her because she's like she has no choice but to spar with me. But she gives me all the great work, and now she gave me work for my last fight, which was pretty awesome. And now that she's living here, she's gonna be one of my main sparring partners as well. And just having that bond with my sister, we understand each other, we know each other, and when we're down and out, we try to push each other, and we just know exactly how boxing is. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad, and we always have to encourage each other to be the best and just to be motivated. And she definitely motivates me, and now it's she hasn't fought in a while, so now it's just like it's me. She's one of my managers too. So if I make money, we all make money. So that's how we see it.
Yeah, you love to see that kind of dynamic there, but it also seems like you're very proud of, where you come from, just the rich Puerto Rican heritage and everything like that. Like, how much of that, I guess, galvanizes you when you get out there and you compete, just this knowledge that, Puerto Rico is supporting you?
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That definitely is one of the biggest motivations, just having that flag on my back. Right now, just talking about it gives me goosebumps, because, I know I have like a whole island behind me, and I have young girls looking up to me, young Latinas looking up to me and saying I can be just like her, be a beautiful, strong, positive woman in the sport, in a male-dominated sport. So, that definitely pushes me and gives me the extra to go out there and to perform to my best abilities.
Yeah, for sure. And just, very busy and goal oriented. And I think that's very cool. So I thought I was also curious that I'd seen some articles popping up where you were doing a level of professional wrestling training. Is that still going on? Like, can we see Amanda Serrano step into the professional wrestling ring sooner than later? Because I understood you were training a little bit in that regard.
Yeah, no, I will hope so. I mean, that's where the money's at. but no, I would love to. We do have our buddies. They own a gym, House of Glory Wrestling, and Amazing Red, which is another Puerto Rican wrestler. He's been helping me and just learning. I go to all the shows that they have locally, and I'm hoping I'll be able to one day enter a wrestling ring as a wrestler. It would be cool. Even if a dream of mine will be just to at least do one match, it would be pretty cool.
Yeah, so no real timeline for that in general, just like, I guess, shoring up the skills, and then whenever you feel ready to get out there, you kind of get out there and do it.
Right now, my hands are full with boxing and MMA.
Yeah, I'm surprised you have any free time at all. I mean, just the amount of endeavors you're in. And I also thought it was cool that you were saying in a previous post that you also wanted to win Muay Thai and kickboxing titles too. So it seems like the goals never end for Amanda Serrano. You're always working towards something, it seems like.
Yeah, that's what I guess motivates people. You have to have a goal. You have to have something to work hard for and wake up every day for.